South Dakota transforming itself from a coronavirus hotspot to one of the top states for vaccinations per capita, thanks in part to an aggressive plan that delivers vaccines to some of the hardest hit communities. NBC News Now correspondent Dasha Burns hit the road with a vaccine courier to see how this all works. She's joining me now from Chamberlain, South Dakota. Dasha, I understand that you and this courier traveled more than 400 miles across the state on snowy rural roads. That does not sound like an easy job. How are they able to work through all that?
Yeah, quite a road trip, Allison. I mean, the fact that South Dakota is now ahead of the curve when it comes to vaccinations is pretty incredible considering how expansive and rural this state is. And I got a firsthand look at that. We spent the day yesterday with Corey Diedrich. He works for Sanford Health, which is one of the 3 providers tasked with vaccinating all of South Dakota. And we drove 425 miles to be almost exact and went to 5 different locations across the state. And Allison, when we talk about access to rural healthcare, I mean, we were on some small rural roads, some white knuckle driving through snow, ice, wind, bison. I mean, it's incredible to see what these folks do, and they do it every single day. I want you to hear from Corey himself about this. Take a listen.
So, weather's a huge concern. For the vast majority of our days, though, we run 99.7% of our routes on time if you look at it from an annual standpoint.
You guys are used to this.
We are. And we have people who have grown up here and have driven in this weather their whole lives.
And a lot of these couriers, Allison, they really are homegrown. Corey grew up in the town of Presho that we visited, about 400 people in that town. And he says the vaccines that he delivers there are going into the arms of people that he knows and loves. And this is a system and an infrastructure that Sanford had built out even before COVID-19 to try to get medical supplies and shuttle lab results to and from their metro hubs. So this already existed. They just expanded it for these vaccinations. And it seems to be working pretty well here so far. By the end of the week, Sanford will deliver 12,000 doses to about 8 different rural sites here, Allison.
Wow. Dasha, it's so amazing. I mean, these are smaller communities, hard hit by COVID, often with poor access to health care and vaccines. I mean, these are the communities, right, that are just often overlooked across our country. I can only imagine the difference that this program is making and how long they might be waiting for COVID shots without it.
Yeah, they're often overlooked, and they're also the populations that are at the highest risk for COVID-19. I mean, you've got elderly populations, folks with chronic disease, poverty, social determinants of health. So these are the areas that really do need access to this vaccine. Corey was kind of a hometown hero in a lot of the places that we visited. People were so happy to see him because they knew it meant that they could get more appointments, get more people in, get more people vaccinated. I want you to take a listen to just how significant this was for the people we met along this long road trip, Allison. Take a listen.
We didn't think we were going to get vaccine here until the summer. So the fact that we could get it now and get those higher risk patients vaccinated right away is pretty exciting.
I grew up in South Dakota. The vaccines that my team moved 2 weeks ago ended up in my own parents' arms in Chamberlain.
Wow.
So that was kind of cool.
This hospital, we are the only hospital on the interstate between Mitchell, South Dakota and Rapid City. That's over 275 miles. And so when you put that into perspective and talk about access to an already compromised situation with social determinants of health, poverty playing a part in that, we really need to make sure we're able to get the vaccine as close to home for folks as we can.
And Allison, here's what amazes me. Here in Chamberlain, population about 2,600. They delivered about 400 doses. But then we went to a place like Presho, population 400. They delivered 20 doses there. And some people may wonder why drive 400 miles to deliver 20 doses. But that is what equity, when it comes to this vaccine, that's what it's all about, Allison. Those doses mean everything.
Sure is, and very cool that they're doing that. Dasha, I know this was no easy road trip, but I gotta say, I'm super jealous. I've never been to either of the Dakotas. I think this is very cool, and it looks really, really beautiful.
Come on, lady, we'll hop on a trailer and make a tour out of it.
I would love it. Thanks so much, Dasha. Stay safe.
See you later.
Hey, NBC News viewers, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.